I'm Olivia Noland, and I have a question for you. Why do you buy bird seed? If you're like most people, you enjoy seeing the birds up close. While some people think bird seed is just bird seed, and it doesn't matter what kind you put out, you and I know differently. Birds can be very picky eaters. Put out the wrong feed, guess what? They'll snub their noses at you and move on to your neighbor's feeder looking for something better. Buy the wrong brand, and you lose two ways. First, you end up wasting money on seeds that most birds just kick out of the feeder and onto the ground. Second, and more important, you miss out on the increased variety and number of birds you could be attracting with a better wild bird feed. With Kohl's line of top quality wild bird feed, you get what you pay for. More wild birds on the bird feeder, less waste and weeds under the feeder. Birds are like people. Give them what they like to eat and they'll come back and bring their friends. Kohl's brings nature into the backyard and up close. Isn't that why you buy bird seed in the first place? Now here's a trivia question for you. The yellow-bellied sapsucker is what type of bird? Choose your answer. Is it A, an owl, B, a woodpecker, or C, a hummingbird? I'll have the answer right after this.
Special Feeder has all of the good stuff. This unique mix is a high-energy treat for many birds. It's our most popular blend because it attracts more wild birds than any other mix out there. Plus, woodpeckers absolutely love the pecans. Nutberry Suet Blend is the ultimate trail mix for your birds. With select fruits and choice nuts plus the added nutrition of insect suet kibbles, Nutberry Suet Blend combines all of nature's best in one delicious blend. It's a great way to offer seed and suet in one single feeder. If you only want to use one feed to attract the greatest variety of birds, then it's Blue Ribbon Blend all the way. I guarantee you'll get the best combination of perch and ground feeding birds with this traditional mix done right. Safflower is a great little seed known for its bitter taste. Most squirrels and blackbirds don't like it, while cardinals, nuthatches, and chickadees can't resist it. So if you're looking for an economical way to feed more birds than squirrels, safflower is definitely for you.
So, ready for the answer? The yellow-bellied sapsucker is a type of woodpecker. If you said B, you're right. What bird is often called the wild canary? Choose your answer. Is it A, American goldfinch, B, yellow parakeet, or C, western tanager? I'll have the answer after this short message.
These high-potency suet kibbles are bursting with berry flavor and beneficial dried insects for increased stamina and vitality in the wild. Warblers, woodpeckers, bluebirds, and nuthatches can't get enough. Suet nuts are a heavenly combination of nourishing peanuts and delectable berry suet. Offer Kohl's suet nuts in a peanut or platform feeder for repeat visits all year long. Wholesome sunflower meats buried within energy-packed suet, Kohl's Suet Pearls are a hidden treasure all songbirds are sure to love. Pour it straight into a sunflower feeder or mix it with your favorite seed. Easier to feed and less messy than live worms, Kohl's dried mealworms are Mother Nature's perfect treat for all your insect-loving songbirds.
So which bird is often referred to as the wild canary? If you guessed A, American goldfinch, you're right. Fact or fiction? Wild birds need vitamin and mineral supplements added to their bird seed to help them survive. I'll have the answer after this.
Not only has the volume of my birds increased, but the variety of birds as well.
I've tried the others and they don't eat it.
And I have found that even though I would pay a little more, I got a lot more birds and I had a lot less waste.
I think you get both variety and number, because first the birds are going to show up, and second, I mean, there's something here for every bird that's in the area here.
And now back to our fact or fiction question. It's fiction. While this is true for domesticated caged birds that cannot forage for themselves, it is not true for birds in the wild. Most wild birds eat from a variety of food sources like insects, berries, and plant seeds. So they get all the vitamins and minerals they need naturally. No artificial supplements necessary. As long as your birdseed is fresh, high-quality stuff like coals, your feathered friends are sure to thrive.
Higher in essential fats and protein than chopped peanuts or peanut hearts, Cole's raw peanuts are a great attraction for titmice, nuthatches, wrens, and woodpeckers. Cole's oil sunflower is the absolute highest grade black oil sunflower available. It's over 99% pure and cleaned 4 times to ensure that you get more seed and fewer sticks. Plus, it's positively chock full of oil. You want as much oil in your sunflower as you can get because this is what attracts the birds. So our high-grade, high-oil sunflower means more birds at your feeder. This inexpensive feed appeals to a wide range of ground-feeding birds such as cardinals, white-throated sparrows, towhees, ducks, and doves. This fun and nutritious treat attracts titmice, woodpeckers, jays, wrens, and many cute critters. Simply offer whole peanuts in an open feeder or toss a few on the ground. White millet is the #1 choice of beautiful ground-feeding birds like juncos, towhees, song sparrows, and even some favorite perch-feeding birds like the indigo bunting. Use it alone, sprinkled out on the ground, or combine it with other seeds like oil sunflower to create your own blend.
And now for our trivia question. Which backyard favorite is the state bird of 7 different states? Is it A, the bluebird, B, the western meadowlark, or C, the cardinal? We'll find out in just a minute, but first, Elaine Cole gets a lot of questions from consumers. Here are some answers to the questions we hear most often.
We're here with Elaine Cole of Cole's with some of those frequently asked questions, and gotta ask you, are your seeds something that people can eat?
Well, even though a lot of the ingredients are human-grade quality, I really don't recommend that you eat it. We do get asked that a lot, but it is, after all, wild bird feed.
What do you say to people concerned about the bird seed spilling into the flower bed or the lawn and giving you a bunch of plants sprouting that you don't want?
Well, basically, you can attack that a few different ways. You can either feed a seed that has no shells, like sunflower meats or our nutberry suet blend, and that way, if some gets kicked out of the feeder, it's not going to sprout at all because there's no shell to kind of help that germination process. Another way is just to feed a really high-quality bird seed like Cole's, because if you have all the seeds in a blend that the birds will actually eat, you don't have to worry about anything being left over on the ground. They will eat everything and it won't have the chance to germinate.
All right, I want to hear all about the nitrogen gizmo and what is it and where is it?
It's actually something really great. We blow out the oxygen, fill the bag with nitrogen, and seal it. And because we do that, we don't need pesticides. We don't need chemicals of any sort whatsoever. With a nitrogen purge barrier packaging, it keeps everything bug-free and as fresh as the day it was packed.
Now, the chili peppers in the seed, does that harm the birds or the squirrels?
No, as a matter of fact, for the birds in particular, they don't even taste the heat. The chili pepper plant evolved to be attractive to birds, so they actually like the taste. Mammals, on the other hand, it's hot for us because the chili pepper plant doesn't want us to eat it. So it burns our mouths, but it's only a sensory perception. There's no physical damage done. So it's actually a very safe and humane way to feed birds and keep squirrels and other critters off your feeders.
So the birds will enjoy it, even with the peppers?
Absolutely.
Doesn't hurt the squirrels?
Not at all.
Remember our trivia question? What backyard bird is the state bird of 7 different U.S. states? The answer is C, the cardinal. The cardinal is the state bird of Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, North Carolina, Ohio, Virginia, and West Virginia.
Niger seed, often called thistle seed, is a favorite of beautiful wild finches like pine siskins and the American goldfinch. It is best used in a special Niger feeder where it can be economically dispensed. Finch Friends is simply fantastic. It's the only finch mix developed for use in a regular tubular feeder. That's right, no special Niger feeder needed. Just fill up your everyday feeder with Finch Friends, and soon beautiful goldfinches, purple finches, and pine siskins will be dining at your door. Sunflower Meats is the only true no-waste, no-mess seed available. This is pure sunflower and the bird's #1 choice. With no shell, you get more feed per pound and no messy hulls to clean up. It's perfect if you want to feed from balconies and decks without the mess of leftover shells. When we created Critter Munchies years ago, there was nothing else like it. Today, it is still the ideal mix for people who like to feed nature's little critters, or just distract them from the bird feeder. Squirrels, chipmunks, and rabbits just can't get enough.
Now here's a fact or fiction question for you. Hummingbirds ride on the backs of Canada geese when they migrate to Mexico and Central America for the winter. Find out the answer after this look at what some of Kohl's customers have to say about the products.
Kohl's does get eaten, and it's a lot more value for our money. If we're going to be buying some bird seed, we like to see the birds eating it.
I don't know what kind of seeds are in there, but I just know it works.
The birds, as well as my creatures, like it better than others.
So is it fact or fiction that hummingbirds migrate south by riding on the backs of geese? No, that's an old wives' tale. But it is true that hummingbirds can fly backwards, sideways, and even upside down. So who needs to rely on geese when you can do all that? You may have wondered how Kohl's Wild Bird Products Company got started. Well, it's a true mom and pop success story. From humble beginnings in the family's garage to widespread distribution, they were able to turn their love of birdwatching into a nationally recognized business. Donna Davis has the story of Kohl's.
This video says it all. Notice the birds actually eating the Kohl's brand of birdseed and ignoring the other brand. Pleasing the palates of birds is what has made Kohl's so successful.
All we do is birdseed, and so it was most important that it actually work.
Elaine Kohl now runs the company, which began out of her family's passion for bird watching. It's easy to see all these years later, the Kohls have never lost that passion. Elaine sees her children getting addicted to bird watching as well.
I think by feeding the birds and planting gardens and everything else that you do that's a very nature-oriented activity, that helps them to appreciate what they have.
Elaine has taken Kohl's wild bird feed from a home-based business to a national wholesaler, which has been raved about in the country's top publications.
Because birdseed is really all that we do, there is a true passion for that. There is a true passion for these birds in the wild and getting to bring them to your backyard and see them and enjoy them. It's wonderful. They're funny, they're entertaining, they are your little outdoor pets.
The story of Kohl's is the great American dream. It began as a hobby, a side business for Elaine's dad Richard and his wife Nancy.
You get interested into the birds and you start feeding them. We were putting out birdseed and then realized they weren't eating it.
That's when they decided to create their own mix.
You start looking and investigating, and the information was out there about what they really like to eat.
So the Kohls used only the best ingredients.
Some people came over one time and said, "You have a lot of birds. Why do you have so many birds?" Well, we feed them the right things.
Before long, Richard and Nancy were bagging birdseed every night and weekend and selling it to friends and family.
We went out to some local stores and made a pitch with the birdseed, and some of them took us up on the offer and were our customers for many, many, many years.
As the Kohl's hobby grew, they eventually began working full-time. Elaine came on board to take the company from the family garage to commercial locations. Like all new businesses, there was a lot of work, and the entire family has always pitched in to service customers.
My brother, for instance, really is a research scientist, but I pull him in to help with the trade shows and help with the company because he knows it, and he's very good, and that helps. My poor husband has helped me deliver birdseed at 3 o'clock in the morning, no lie. 3 o'clock in the morning making deliveries.
Kohl's is constantly developing new products in an effort to solve problems, like hot blends to keep the squirrels out of the feeders, and they develop new types of blends to attract a larger variety of birds.
By offering this larger variety, you get a larger variety of birds. There are some birds that don't eat seeds, they just eat suet. So when you offer something like nutberry suet blend that has suet and seeds in it, you're going to get a larger variety of birds. A lot of people like cardinals. If you want a cardinal, safflower is a good seed to offer. You can pick the seed to get specific types of birds.
Creating the world's best bird feed and keeping the birds, the customers, and the retailers happy and coming back for more is the foundation of everything they do at Kohl's.
All we do is birdseed, and so it was most important that it actually work. They can trust this product. It will do what they think it's going to do. They will get the birds. They will be happy.
We're not going to sacrifice the quality of our birdseed for any reason, because it's there to attract the birds. That's what people buy the birdseed for. That's what this product's going to do. We're not going to change it.
Ready for another fact or fiction question? How about this one? Does feeding the birds in the fall keep them from migrating? Is it fact or fiction? I'll have the answer after this look at some more Kohl's products.
What is the #1 complaint about feeding wild birds? The squirrels. Now you can fight the age-old battle against squirrels and win with Kohl's hot meats. We've taken our top-quality sunflower meats and infused them with an exclusive habanero chili pepper oil that birds love but squirrels hate. If you're tired of wasting money feeding the squirrels, try a bag of Kohl's hot meats. Blazing Hot Blend is a traditional blend of highly desired seeds, protected by hot habanero chilies. Beautiful songbirds can't get enough, while those pesky squirrels say yuck. Kohl's Cajun Blend mixes the special flavor of safflower with the squirrel-chasing chilies of hot meats to help you reclaim the feeder for your birds. Woo-wee! That's hot! Our famous hot meats, presented in a no-melt suet cake, is guaranteed to make the squirrels turn up their noses. Flaming Squirrel Seed Sauce is a nutritional birdseed supplement that contains all natural 100% food-grade ingredients with a super hot and spicy flavor. It tastes hot to mammals, but not to wild birds. Simply mix this liquid chili pepper formula with your birdseed in a bucket or plastic bag to greatly reduce squirrel visits at the bird feeder. Be sure to use gloves and always wash your hands after you're done. Flaming Squirrel Seed Sauce is great in the garden too. If rabbits and squirrels are eating your seedlings and other plantings, pour Flaming Squirrel in a spray bottle and mist the base of the plants that you don't want the critters to eat. To keep squirrels and voles from digging up your bulbs, just dip each one in Flaming Squirrel Seed Sauce before planting.
On our question, does feeding birds in the fall keep them from migrating? The answer is fiction, just a myth. Instead of keeping wild birds from migrating, fall feeding actually gives them a much-needed energy boost, helping them to survive as they journey to warmer climates for the winter.
Our famous hot meats, presented in a no-melt suet cake, is guaranteed to make the squirrels turn up their noses. Chock full of peanuts and pecans, Kohl's Special Feeder Suet Cake is a shoe-in to be your woodpecker's favorite. 2 steps above your average peanut suet, the special no-melt formula of natural peanut suet wins taste tests hands down. A better all-purpose suet that attracts the largest variety of songbirds. You can't go wrong with this one.